Welcome everybody to episode number 23 of Starcraft for Dummies. This is going to be a gold level Protoss game of Size Matters versus Jackson, the Terran player. The submitter over here, Size Matters, wants us to look at his Protoss play, so let's get this underway and see what happens. So basically, new things to SC4D, hopefully coming soon. If any of you know, I was in Oakville for, any of you Canadians have heard of Sheridan College. That's where I've been going to school, as well as York. Basically, switching out of my program, so I'm going to be back home for the second term of the school year, working and such, and then probably going back maybe to Sheridan for web design or to Western University for techniculture. Either way, haven't given my full attention to the channel because a lot of stuff has been going on in school. A lot of different stuff in that area, so lots of changes going on in the personal life, trying to keep new videos, keep fresh material coming here. And besides work, now that all I'll be doing is working and hanging out, I'll probably have a lot more time to get to videos, do new things, hopefully find a sponsor and stuff. Hopefully a lot of new things coming once I get everything sorted out. So as you see here, we have a 2 racks going down for the Protoss, or the Terran player. And the normal build here for a Protoss player, getting out of the Zealot and that Stalker. Searching with a Marine, which he is going to lose now. I'm not too fond of searching with a Marine early, unless you're going to try and pick off some drones or probes, but you know that's probably not the best option with one Marine when you know he's going to have some units out. And looks like he's just going to be MMing here with 2 racks, 1 factory. But yeah, I'd usually scout with an SCP or something. Even if you're wasting it, just throw it at his base to see what he has army composition-wise. Throw it on a Xel'Naga watchtower, whatever you got to do. I like taking the Xel'Nagas, definitely very helpful. And 6 minutes into the game, and we are seeing a 2-1-1 play here from the Terran player with a missile turret up. Not too sure why a player would put up a missile turret without any notion, you know, against Protoss. They're not usually likely to go any sort of air, and he has not scouted any sort of air, so you know, if you're gonna scout air, then that would make sense, but don't waste minerals doing something you think is gonna happen, unless you know, unless you know that it's gonna happen. Because here is a 3-gate robo here, and this is definitely a play I like to do from as Protoss, but definitely a bit slow here. He's got to get these mortals out quicker so that he's ready for that early push from Terran, usually around 6 minutes or so, 7 minutes, with a couple SCVs and a small ball. That's usually what Terran likes to do, or that 10-minute timing push thing, which is really good, effective when you're Protoss, if you can build up that army and get out some immortals. So here it looks like we got definitely better economy here from the red player, who's got 28 harvesters at blue's 21, and the Protoss, or the Terran player, just getting out that MMM strategy. Haven't seen that straight up in a while. Oh, and it looks like we're going to see a tech lab going down here on the starport, so we're going to see some Banshees coming out here. And neither player doing a lot of scouting. See, I would constantly, every couple minutes, send something to scout or scan or get a quick observer out there, or a scan to see what's going on, if I didn't already say that. Because neither of them really know what each other's doing, and that is definitely a problem when something like Banshees are going to be coming out. And as you can see, Rally pointed back here. He could have built this way back here. That would have made a lot more sense, because then it wouldn't have been seen. And there's definitely Banshees coming out now. So, and it looks like this 3-gate robo. Oh, now into 4-gate robo, which means he should be expanding right about now, because his economy probably will not be able to handle that amount of units if he wants to successfully continually push out units. And this army with 2 immortals will definitely do some damage on an army with only a 5 or 6 marauders. I usually count the forces by marauders versus stalkers. He has more stalkers, so it's pretty balanced in that sense, but the rest of his army will dominate the rest of the Terran army. So if he just gets a push going on here, he's going to get that observer out, hopefully see the Banshees. As soon as he knows Banshees are down, he should be throwing down a forge if he doesn't already have one. Ooh, making 6 warp gates, which is not too good off of no base. So definitely the first problem is he didn't expand. He should have expanded about as soon as he pushed out, which was around 9 minutes or so. Because I find whenever you're past 10 minutes and you're not expanding it, you're in trouble. Or at least, when it gets to 11, 12, 13 minutes. Oh, and his army moving away from the wall, and that means he's going to have a chance to engage it. And he's got to get the, oh, he's pulling back for some reason. He's got to get the open area. He's losing units there. He's got to push in and get some force fields down. Gets the Guardian Shield up, but it's gone already. He's getting no force field, so here's definitely a big mistake from the Protostic player. He did not get any force fields down. If he force fielded and split up the army, he definitely would have been in a commanding position, especially with these Immortals getting out here. And the positioning was bad too. If he had kept that pushing right here, he would have been in wide open range and gotten the force fields down and not have been choked out on the ramp, which caused for a lot of losses as these Immortals could not get in there and get the attacks on, who have 0 kills. That's how you can tell that. And definitely doing good by transitioning into Colossus, but no expansion yet, so that's the big problem. He's not going to be able to handle all these warp gates and Colossus off of one base. That's just not going to happen. And there's also a bunch of little things you got to look out for. Like, he could have a Zealot right here on a Zelnaga tower, and be able to tell that this force is coming, and be able to pull back. And finally the expand going down. Still no expand from Terran, but able to get 2 Banshees out, and that's pretty much where he's stopping it. So it looks like he's just still going MMM. And it looks like, so if he gets scouted that tech lab, which he definitely, oh, he does see now, so he does see it, but has no static defense up for any Banshee push. That is definitely a problem. He definitely misread that. Oh, and it looks like I missed a fight here, and the Terran Protoss player able to stifle off the attack. So it looks like his forces were able to keep up, and he is expanding, so it looks like he is ahead here. But more forces waiting back here. But with that tech lab scouted, what he needs to do is throw down some static defense and keep out his stalker limit and get a couple scout or observers out so he can keep 1 on this army, as well as keep 2, 1 at each base to reveal any cloaked Banshees around that aren't going to be, you know, getting in range of cannons, because they're going to try and avoid the cannons, of course. And it looks like we're going to see some micro here, but he's trying to pull back, but he's not kiting them at all. You gotta get that stim on the kite. There's the concussion shell. Keep 1 gonna get the snipe off of that one. And this is where he needs to keep pushing. He should be making a proxy pylon somewhere down here so he can warp in units really quickly. And this scout observer in a poor spot to really tell what's going on. I had a game. I'm doing this one because I've had such a problem myself with Banshees. I just lost a game against TVP where I outclassed him in army, but he went heavy Banshees and just destroyed my economy, and I couldn't keep up. I couldn't keep where my observers were, or where my keep the static defense in the proper places. And it was just hectic trying to move my stalkers around and keep the observer in place. I just lost a lot of units. And basically, the player in the email said here he's having trouble with Banshees, and it's not obvious to tell that he's gonna have. It's obvious to tell that he's gonna have Banshee problems when he has no static defense or observers to take these out, as well as no stalkers around. He could have dropped. He could have Nidus swarmed. He could have thrown a bunch of overlords in there if they did damage. That basically would give him trouble. There's nothing here to defend against, so of course this is gonna give him trouble. And this is a terrible mistake, off of hardly even saturated 2 bases, not even 2 bases, warping in another 3 gateways, which now he has only 1 base, which is almost mined out. And he's just got no economy now. He's going to have no units. The Protoss player, who is almost, or the Terran player is almost wiped out, is basically going to just expand and keep pushing out units. Protoss player had a lot of problems because he did scout it out, but he did not react. A good player would react right away, get the forge up, get the static defense up, get observers out, and get stalkers out. Just be ready on defense and expanding and building up, so that when he stops and deflects the Banshee attack, he's ready to push out and catch the other player off guard. Especially with an observer down here, he'll be able to tell when he expands, because that's a key thing to do. Is it's very hard to push with a bunch of Banshees or with a lot of MM plus a couple Banshees as well as expand. So usually a Banshee play is done off of one base, and you'll be able to, if you're able to stop it and expand, then you know you're ahead, and you get the chance to stop them from expanding. And there's just no economy here for the Protoss player, and this ball is going to come in and probably clean up what's left. So all these production facilities going to waste. 7 gateways with nothing to produce because he hardly has the minerals to keep it up. Only warping 4 or 5 units, 6 units in there. He definitely does have ability to hold this force off. And it looks like he's gonna not hold on. He's not gonna hold on. Oh, maybe warping in more units. The Marauders slowly take them out one by one because of Metamax keeping them in there. And he's just gonna lose to this MM ball just barely. And there's the GG. And it looks like there is the end game. So basically, there's not a whole lot to say about protecting against Banshees. If you're not gonna react to it, if you're not gonna scout it, then there's not a whole lot you can do. You're going to lose to any kind of a play like that if you're not going to react to the scout. So whether or not he didn't notice the tech lab, or he didn't realize that meant Banshees, basically if you got to scout it out and then you have to react to it. There's 2 parts to that. You know, there's not a whole lot to say in ways of defending it besides get static defense up and get the observers out as well as stalkers to defend it, which he just flat out didn't do. And so that is pretty much everything for this game. He's definitely, I think the Protoss player was a stronger player, getting the expand up quicker, and definitely playing a strong 3-gate robo. It's just the lack of react to the scouting that caused him to lose. And so that is pretty much everything. And as you can see, the APM way higher here, average, for the red player. So that means he's probably just not focusing on what his opponent has, more what he's doing, and not what his opponent's doing, which is also important. And it's something I've been having trouble a bit too. So there's my tip out to size matters. That's pretty much everything for this episode. This was episode number 23 of Starcraft for Dummies. Hope to see you guys next time. Have a good one. This is New Era signing out.